I'm sure you've heard that beet juice is one of the healthiest drinks for seniors. It's said to lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and even boost energy and memory. And yes, that's true, but only when it's prepared and consumed the right way. Here's what most people don't realize. The same beet juice that can lower blood pressure can also raise it, if you drink it the wrong way. I've seen this happen many times with my own patients. They start drinking beet juice every morning, hoping to help their heart, but end up feeling dizzy, anxious, or more tired than before. And they have no idea why. According to research from the American Heart Association, while beets are naturally rich in nitrates, compounds that relax blood vessels, those same nitrates can turn into harmful nitrites when the juice is stored improperly, heated too long, or combined with certain foods. When that happens, instead of helping your arteries open up, the drink can make your blood vessels constrict, quietly raising your blood pressure instead of lowering it. That's why in today's video, we'll uncover the most common mistakes seniors make when drinking beet juice. Mistakes that can completely reverse its heart-healthy benefits. You'll learn how to prepare it safely, when to drink it, and what foods you should never mix it with if you want to keep your blood pressure steady and your circulation strong. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and this is Senior Healthcare, where we turn medical science into simple, everyday habits for a longer, stronger, and healthier life. Let's begin with the very first mistake. Mistake number 1, drinking beet juice. That's been stored too long. Beet juice is a wonderful natural remedy when it's fresh. It's packed with nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and lower blood pressure naturally. That's why so many seniors have turned to beet juice as part of their morning routine. But here's the problem. When beet juice sits for too long, those same nitrates can turn into harmful nitrites, and instead of lowering your blood pressure, they can quietly raise it. When you juice beets, you break open the plant cells and expose nitrates to air and bacteria. Over time, even when stored in the refrigerator, those nitrates begin to convert into nitrites and secondary amines, compounds that can reduce oxygen delivery in your blood and constrict your arteries. The longer beet juice sits, the higher those levels rise. After about 24 hours, the concentration of beneficial nitrates starts to drop sharply while nitrites increase. This can make your blood vessels tighten rather than relax, reversing the very effect you're drinking beet juice for. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Food Science and Nutrition found that fresh beet juice stored in the refrigerator for more than 48 hours lost nearly 50% of its nitrate content and showed a significant increase in nitrite levels. Researchers warned that improperly stored beet juice could potentially raise blood pressure in sensitive adults, especially those with cardiovascular conditions. I remember one of my patients, Mrs. Lorraine, 71 years old. She told me she made a large batch of beet juice every Sunday and drank a cup each morning to save time. At first, she felt great, but after a few weeks, she began noticing dizziness and headaches, especially on the 3rd or 4th day after juicing. When we checked her blood pressure, it was slightly higher than usual. After switching to smaller, fresh batches made every 1 to 2 days, her blood pressure returned to normal and her energy stabilized again. So what's the bottom line? If you love beet juice, keep it fresh and safe. Drink it within 12 to 18 hours after juicing for maximum benefit. Always store it in an airtight glass container in the refrigerator, never in plastic. If you notice a sour smell, darker color, or sediment, discard it immediately. And never reheat beet juice. Heat accelerates nitrite formation. If you want to prepare in advance, freeze small portions right after juicing, then thaw them overnight in the refrigerator. That preserves the nutrients without letting harmful compounds form. Remember, beet juice works best when it's alive and fresh, not tired and oxidized. Your heart deserves the real thing. Mistake number 2, heating or cooking beet juice. Before drinking. Some people believe that warming up beet juice makes it easier to digest or activates its nutrients. It's a common idea, especially among seniors who prefer warm drinks in the morning. But here's the truth. When you heat or cook beet juice, you destroy the very nutrients that make it good for your heart. Beets are rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a gas that helps blood vessels relax, improving blood flow and lowering blood pressure. However, nitrates are extremely heat sensitive. When exposed to high temperatures, especially above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees Celsius, they begin to break down into nitrites and nitrosamines, compounds that can have the opposite effect. Instead of relaxing your arteries, they can make them tighten. This can lead to temporary spikes in blood pressure and increased strain on the heart. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that heating beet juice for just 10 minutes at 160 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 degrees Celsius, destroyed nearly 70% of its nitrate content, dramatically reducing its blood pressure-lowering benefits. The researchers noted that consuming heated or boiled beet beverages had no measurable improvement in vascular function compared to raw juice. The other issue is that heat destroys vitamin C, polyphenols, and betalains, powerful antioxidants that protect your arteries from oxidative stress. Without them, you lose much of the anti-inflammatory benefit that helps your heart and brain stay healthy as you age. I once met Mr. Charles, 73 years old, who told me he always boiled his beet juice for safety because he didn't like drinking anything raw. He drank it daily, but his blood pressure barely improved. When I asked him to try drinking fresh chilled beet juice instead, just 4 ounces every morning, his systolic pressure dropped by 8 points in 2 weeks. His color improved, and he said he finally felt the natural boost people talk about. So what's the bottom line? Beet juice works best when it's raw and fresh, not cooked or reheated. If you dislike cold drinks, you can let it sit at room temperature for 15 minutes before drinking, but don't warm it. And never mix it into hot soups or teas, because heat breaks down the same compounds that keep your arteries open and healthy. Here's a simple routine I recommend. Juice or blend your beets fresh. Keep them refrigerated until ready to drink. Serve cool or at room temperature, never heated. Remember, beet juice is nature's blood pressure medicine, but it only works when you let it stay alive. Mistake number 3, drinking beet juice on an empty stomach. For many people, drinking beet juice first thing in the morning seems like the perfect healthy habit. You wake up, your stomach is empty, and you want to start clean. It feels like a great way to give your body an instant boost of energy. But here's what most people don't realize. Beet juice on an empty stomach can do more harm than good, especially after age 60. Beets are naturally rich in nitrates, oxalates, and natural sugars. When your stomach is empty, these compounds are absorbed very quickly. That rapid absorption can cause your blood pressure to drop suddenly, followed by a reflex increase a few hours later, a roller coaster effect that can make you feel dizzy, weak, or anxious. For seniors with existing blood pressure or circulation issues, this sudden swing can be dangerous. Beet juice is also acidic and slightly stimulating to the digestive system. When it hits an empty stomach, it can irritate the stomach lining, trigger heartburn, or cause nausea, especially in people who already have gastritis or acid reflux. A 2020 study from the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition found that older adults who drank concentrated beet juice before meals experienced higher rates of stomach irritation and lightheadedness than those who consumed it with food. The researchers noted that drinking it alone causes faster nitrate conversion, which can temporarily upset vascular stability and digestion. I remember Mrs. Helen, 68 years old, who came to me complaining of dizziness after her morning beet juice routine. She said she drank it right after waking up. No breakfast, no water, just juice. She thought it would wake up her body. But what it really did was lower her blood pressure too quickly, causing fatigue and shakiness by mid-morning. When she began eating a small bowl of oatmeal or half a banana before her juice, the dizziness disappeared, and her energy felt steady again. So what's the bottom line? Beet juice is most effective when you don't drink it on an empty stomach. Always have a light snack first, something with protein or healthy fat, such as yogurt, nuts, or eggs. This helps slow the absorption of nitrates and keeps your blood pressure stable. If you prefer drinking it in the morning, do so 15 to 30 minutes after breakfast, not before. And if you notice nausea, warmth, or dizziness, stop and pair it with food next time. Your body will thank you. Remember, your body doesn't need shock therapy. It needs steady support. Beet juice should nourish your circulation, not surprise it. Mistake number 4. Mixing beet juice with high sodium or processed foods. Beet juice is often praised as a heart-healthy drink. It helps widen blood vessels, improves oxygen flow, and naturally lowers blood pressure. But there's one thing that can instantly undo all those benefits: pairing beet juice with salty or processed foods. Here's why this happens. Beets are rich in nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps blood vessels relax. That process is what helps lower blood pressure. However, when you consume beet juice together with foods that are high in sodium, such as deli meats, bacon, cheese, canned soups, or chips, sodium interferes with nitric oxide production. It causes your blood vessels to narrow instead of relax, leading to an increase in blood pressure, sometimes within just an hour of eating. A 2018 study from the American Journal of Hypertension found that adults who consumed nitrate-rich foods together with high-sodium meals experienced a 25% smaller drop in blood pressure compared to those who avoided salt. In fact, for some participants, their blood pressure actually went up after the combination, the exact opposite of what they expected. This interaction is especially risky for seniors because the kidneys naturally become less efficient with age. When you add sodium and nitrates together, the body struggles to regulate water and blood volume properly, which can cause swelling in the legs, shortness of breath, or higher blood pressure the next morning. I remember Mr. Robert, 74, who loved drinking beet juice with his lunch sandwich, turkey slices, cheese, and pickles. He said it gave him good circulation, but he was puzzled when his blood pressure readings began climbing after meals. When we looked closer, it wasn't the beet juice causing the problem. It was the salt in his lunch. Once he switched to fresh grilled chicken with leafy greens and low-sodium bread, his blood pressure stabilized again, even though he continued drinking beet juice daily. So what's the bottom line? Beet juice only works when your blood vessels are free to relax, and that can't happen in a high-sodium environment. If you're drinking it to support your heart or blood pressure, avoid pairing it with salty, processed, or canned foods. Instead, combine it with whole foods, avocado toast, salads, or oatmeal, and always check food labels. Even healthy soups or sauces can hide large amounts of sodium. Remember, beet juice and salt don't belong in the same meal. One opens your arteries, the other tightens them. Choose the one that helps your heart breathe easier. Mistake number 5. Drinking too much beet juice at once. When it comes to healthy habits, most people think, if a little is good, more must be better. And that's exactly the mistake many seniors make with beet juice. It's true, beet juice can lower blood pressure, improve stamina, and boost circulation. But when you drink too much, it can quietly overload your body with compounds it can't handle, especially after age 60. Beets are high in oxalates, natural sugars, and nitrates. In small amounts, these are beneficial, but in excess, they can strain your kidneys, spike or drop your blood pressure suddenly, and even trigger digestive problems. When you drink more than 8 ounces, about 240 milliliters, of concentrated beet juice at one time, your body can't process all the nitrates efficiently. Instead of relaxing your blood vessels gradually, the nitrates convert too quickly into nitric oxide, causing your blood pressure to drop sharply at first, then rebound higher later as your body compensates. This unstable fluctuation can make you feel lightheaded, weak, or dizzy. A 2020 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that consuming more than 250 milliliters of beet juice per day did not improve vascular function further, and in some participants it led to temporary headaches and blood pressure instability. The researchers concluded that moderation, not excess, is the key to harnessing beet juice's benefits safely. The oxalate content is another concern. Beets naturally contain high levels of oxalic acid, which can contribute to kidney stone formation when consumed in large amounts, especially in people who are dehydrated or taking diuretics. That's why seniors with kidney or bladder issues should limit beet juice to 4 to 6 ounces, 120 to 180 milliliters, per serving, no more than 3 to 4 times a week. I remember Mrs. Diane, 69, who proudly told me she drank 2 full glasses of beet juice every morning because she heard it lowers blood pressure fast, but she started feeling unusually tired and noticed swelling in her ankles. Her lab results showed mild kidney strain and low potassium. After reducing her beet juice to half a glass per day, alternating with cucumber or spinach juice, her symptoms disappeared and her blood pressure stayed perfectly stable. So what's the bottom line? Beet juice is powerful medicine from nature, but even natural medicine has a dose. Stick to 4 to 6 ounces per day and take a few days off each week to give your body a break. Drink it slowly, not in one gulp, and always listen to your body's signals. Remember, health isn't about how much you take in, it's about how well your body can use it. With beet juice, less truly is more. Mistake number 6. Combining beet juice with caffeine or coffee. For many people, the morning starts with a cup of coffee, and for those trying to live healthier, adding a glass of beet juice alongside it might seem like a great idea. One gives you energy, the other supports circulation. But here's the truth. Drinking beet juice too close to coffee or other caffeinated drinks can actually cancel out its benefits and put extra strain on your heart. Beet juice and caffeine affect your blood vessels in opposite ways. Beet juice contains nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, which relaxes and widens blood vessels, helping to lower blood pressure and improve oxygen delivery. Caffeine, on the other hand, acts as a vasoconstrictor, temporarily tightening blood vessels and increasing heart rate. When you combine the two, your circulatory system receives mixed signals. One substance tells your arteries to open, while the other tells them to contract. The result can be irregular blood pressure, palpitations, or dizziness, especially for older adults who already have cardiovascular sensitivity. A 2019 study from the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology found that consuming caffeine within 1 hour of nitrate-rich beverages, such as beet juice, significantly reduced nitric oxide production by as much as 35%. That means you're losing more than 1/3 of beet juice's natural blood pressure lowering effect just by pairing it with coffee. The combination can also strain your kidneys and digestive system. Both caffeine and beet juice have mild diuretic effects, meaning they increase urine output. When consumed together, they can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, or even mild fatigue later in the day. And since caffeine can stimulate stomach acid, combining it with beet juice, which is naturally acidic, may irritate the stomach lining and trigger acid reflux. I remember Mr. Allen, 72, who came to me complaining that his blood pressure was fluctuating wildly. He said he started every morning with a double espresso and a glass of beet juice for good measure. But after tracking his blood pressure, we found that it dropped sharply mid-morning, then spiked again in the afternoon. When he began drinking his beet juice at least 2 hours after coffee, his readings stabilized, and his energy became steady throughout the day. So, what's the bottom line? If you enjoy coffee, that's perfectly fine. Just give your body time to separate these two drinks. Wait at least 90 minutes between coffee and beet juice. Drink a glass of water in between to rehydrate. And avoid drinking beet juice later in the day if you've already consumed several cups of coffee. Remember, your blood vessels can't relax and contract at the same time. Give your body a clear signal, and it will reward you with steady energy and balanced blood pressure all day long. Mistake number 7, mixing beet juice with citrus or lemon juice. Many people love adding a squeeze of lemon or orange to their beet juice. It brightens the color, improves the flavor, and makes the drink taste fresher. It's such a common habit that few realize this simple addition can actually reduce, or even reverse, beet juice's heart benefits. Here's why. The acid from citrus fruits changes the way your body processes nitrates in beets, which can interfere with blood pressure control. Beet juice is rich in nitrates, natural compounds that your body turns into nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and improving circulation. This conversion process begins in your mouth, where healthy bacteria help convert nitrates into nitrites, and later into nitric oxide inside your bloodstream. But when you add acidic juices like lemon or orange, that acid kills or suppresses these beneficial bacteria, disrupting the conversion process. As a result, your body produces less nitric oxide, which means less vasodilation and less blood pressure benefit. A 2018 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that acidic beverages, especially those with a pH below 3.5, such as lemon or lime juice, reduced nitrate to nitric oxide conversion by nearly 40% when consumed together. The researchers noted that the effect was even stronger in older adults, whose oral microbiomes are naturally less resilient. Another issue is nutrient competition. Citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C, which is normally beneficial, but when combined with beet juice, vitamin C can act as a reducing agent, breaking down betalains, the red pigments in beets that protect your blood vessels and fight inflammation. That means your beautiful ruby red drink may look vibrant but deliver fewer antioxidant benefits. I remember Mrs. Sharon, 70, who loved her morning detox blend. Half a beet, 1 lemon, and a dash of ginger. She believed it was helping her heart. But despite drinking it daily for months, her blood pressure stayed high. When she removed the lemon and drank plain beet juice instead, her blood pressure dropped by 6 points within 2 weeks. Sometimes it's the smallest change that makes the biggest difference. So what's the bottom line? If you enjoy both lemon water and beet juice, that's fine. Just don't mix them. Drink them at separate times of the day, at least 30 to 45 minutes apart. That way, you can still enjoy the benefits of both without losing their effectiveness. And if you want to improve flavor, try adding apple, carrot, or cucumber instead of citrus. They enhance the taste naturally and keep the nitrates intact. Remember, healthy doesn't mean complicated. Sometimes your body simply needs one pure thing at a time to do its best work. Mistake number 8, drinking beet juice. While on blood pressure, medication. Beet juice is often called nature's blood pressure medicine. It's rich in nitrates that help relax blood vessels, improve circulation, and lower blood pressure naturally. That's why so many seniors who are already taking prescription blood pressure medications start drinking beet juice too, hoping to double the effect. But here's the truth. When you mix beet juice with certain blood pressure drugs, you might actually lower your blood pressure too much or trigger unwanted side effects. When you take antihypertensive medications like ACE inhibitors, lisinopril, enalapril, ARBs, losartan, valsartan, or nitrate-based drugs, nitroglycerin, your body is already being helped to relax and widen your arteries. Beet juice, with its natural nitrates, enhances the same biological pathway by boosting nitric oxide levels even further. The result? Your blood pressure may drop too quickly, leading to dizziness, fatigue, fainting, or blurred vision, especially when standing up. A 2019 clinical study from the American Journal of Hypertension found that adults who combined beet juice with antihypertensive medications experienced a 17% greater drop in systolic blood pressure compared to medication alone. While that might sound good, for older adults it can be dangerous, particularly if it causes hypotension, a sudden fall in blood pressure that reduces blood flow to the brain and heart. There's another hidden issue. Beet juice contains high levels of potassium, which is normally beneficial, but many blood pressure medications, particularly ACE inhibitors and potassium-sparing diuretics like spironolactone, already raise potassium levels in the blood. When combined, it can lead to hyperkalemia, a condition that causes irregular heartbeat or muscle weakness. I remember Mr. Leonard, 75, who came to me after starting a heart-healthy routine. He drank a glass of beet juice every morning while continuing his prescription for losartan. After a few weeks, he began feeling dizzy and noticed swelling in his ankles. His lab results showed elevated potassium and low sodium levels. When we paused the beet juice and rebalanced his diet, his symptoms improved within days, and his blood pressure readings normalized again. So what's the bottom line? If you're taking blood pressure medication, always check with your doctor before adding beet juice to your routine. It's not that you can't drink it, but you need to know the right amount and timing. For most people, 2 to 3 ounces, about 60 to 90 milliliters of diluted beet juice, a few times per week, is safe. Avoid drinking it within 2 hours of taking your medication, and monitor your blood pressure regularly. Remember, natural remedies and modern medicine can work beautifully together, but only when you let them stay in balance. Your heart doesn't need stronger treatment, it needs smarter care. Mistake number 9. Drinking commercial or bottled beet juice with preservatives. In today's busy world, not everyone has time to juice fresh beets every morning. So, many people turn to bottled or store-bought beet juice, thinking it's just as healthy as homemade. After all, the label says 100% beet juice, cold-pressed, or no sugar added. But here's the truth. Most commercial beet juices are heavily processed and contain preservatives that can quietly harm your heart and blood vessels. To keep bottled juice fresh for weeks or months, manufacturers often use additives like sodium benzoate, citric acid, and potassium sorbate. These ingredients prevent spoilage, but they also alter the natural chemistry of beet juice. When combined with nitrates, the beneficial compounds in beets, these preservatives can form nitrosamines, substances that have been linked to oxidative stress and blood vessel inflammation. Instead of helping your circulation, they can actually make your arteries stiffer and more reactive to blood pressure changes. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Food Research and Health found that beet juice with added preservatives contained up to 40% fewer active nitrates and twice as many nitrites compared to fresh, unprocessed juice. Participants who drank commercial versions showed no significant improvement in blood pressure after 2 weeks, while those who consumed fresh juice had measurable benefits. Another concern is hidden sodium. Some beet juice blends or ready-to-drink smoothies add salt or vegetable concentrates to improve flavor. For seniors managing hypertension, that extra sodium, even just 200 to 300 milligrams per serving, can completely offset the blood pressure-lowering effects of the beets themselves. I remember Mrs. Claudia, 70, who proudly told me she drank bottled beet juice every day because it was convenient and organic. But despite her efforts, her blood pressure hadn't improved at all. When she brought the bottle to her next appointment, we noticed it contained citric acid and natural flavor, vague terms that often hide synthetic stabilizers. I asked her to try freshly juiced beets at home for just 1 week. By day 5, her energy improved and her blood pressure dropped from 146/88 to 132/82, proof that freshness really does matter. So what's the bottom line? If you want the true heart benefits of beet juice, choose quality over convenience. Here's how. Always prefer freshly made beet juice at home or from a local juice bar. If buying bottled, look for cold-pressed, no preservatives, 100% beet juice, and check the expiration date carefully. Avoid brands with citric acid, sodium benzoate, or natural flavors. And store-bought juice should still be consumed within 48 hours of opening, not days later. Remember, your blood vessels can feel the difference between living nutrients and lifeless preservatives. Freshness isn't just about taste, it's about vitality. Mistake number 10. Ignoring dizziness or red urine. After drinking beet juice. One of the most common things I hear from my patients after starting beet juice is this. Doctor, I love how it makes me feel energized, but sometimes my urine turns red. Is that normal? Or they say, I feel lightheaded after drinking it. Should I be worried? These reactions might seem harmless, but here's the truth. Dizziness and red urine are warning signs that your body may be struggling to process beet juice properly. Ignoring them can put extra stress on your kidneys, blood vessels, and overall circulation. Let's start with the color change. That pink or reddish tint in urine, known as bituria, happens when your body doesn't fully break down betalains, the pigments that give beets their vibrant color. For most people, it's harmless and temporary, but if it happens often, it can signal low stomach acid, iron deficiency, or impaired kidney function. Your kidneys may not be filtering waste efficiently, allowing beet pigments and oxalates to pass directly into your urine. And when oxalates build up over time, they can contribute to kidney stones, especially if you're dehydrated or taking certain medications. Dizziness, on the other hand, can be a sign that your blood pressure has dropped too quickly. Beet juice is a powerful vasodilator. It opens up your arteries and improves blood flow. But for some seniors, especially those already on blood pressure medication, this effect can happen too fast. The result? A sudden drop in blood pressure, leading to lightheadedness, fatigue, or even fainting. A 2018 study published in the American Journal of Geriatric Cardiology found that nearly 20% of older adults experience temporary hypotension, low blood pressure, after consuming concentrated beet juice, particularly within 90 minutes of drinking it. I remember Mrs. Janice, 73, who came to me worried that her urine had turned red after drinking beet juice daily. She also felt dizzy and weak mid-morning. After a few tests, we discovered that her kidneys were slightly overworked and her potassium was elevated from both beet juice and her blood pressure medication. We reduced her intake to half a glass every other day and increased her hydration, and both the bituria and dizziness disappeared within 2 weeks. So what's the bottom line? Don't ignore your body's signals. Beet juice is powerful, but your body will always tell you when it's had enough. If you notice persistent red or pink urine, dizziness or lightheadedness, or unusual fatigue after drinking beet juice, stop for a few days, drink plenty of water, and talk to your doctor before continuing. And if you're taking medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or kidney health, always monitor how your body reacts after introducing beet juice into your diet. Remember, natural doesn't always mean harmless. Even healthy foods can become stressful if your body isn't ready for them. Listen to your body. It always speaks before real problems appear. Beet juice truly is one of nature's most powerful gifts for your heart. It can lower blood pressure, boost energy, and even improve brain function when it's used the right way. But as we've seen today, the smallest mistakes can quietly turn this healing drink into a hidden risk. Drinking it too often, storing it too long, mixing it with the wrong foods, or combining it with certain medications, all of these can change how your body responds. Sometimes the difference between healing and harm is just a few ounces or a few minutes of timing. The good news is your body is incredibly wise. When you treat it with balance and respect, it rewards you with strength, clarity, and peace of mind. So if you love beet juice, keep it simple. Drink it fresh. drink it in moderation, and let your heart do the rest. Here's what I tell all my patients. Health isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing the small things consistently and correctly. Every glass of water, every meal, every mindful choice adds up to something powerful, a healthier, calmer, stronger you. If this video helped you understand beet juice in a new way, please like, share, and subscribe to Senior Healthcare, where we turn medical science into simple daily habits that help you live longer, stronger, and healthier after 60. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, and I want you to remember this. The goal isn't just to lower your blood pressure, it's to raise your quality of life. Take care of your heart, take care of your mind, and I'll see you in the next video.